Hello everyone! Welcome into another episode of Last Protagonist Plays Octopath Traveler. I hope you guys are doing well. On yesterday's stream, we continued going through Primrose's Chapter 4. We completed that, she got her murder revenge, and Faith was her shield, and she visited her father's grave. Today we'll be checking out Cyrus's fourth quest and seeing what happens after that. So we've already come to Duskbarrow way early in the game, and this is where his fourth quest starts. And we've already talked to the NPCs and everything there, so pretty much all we have to do now is just start it. So anyway, without horns, how's it going? Nice to see you again. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Is he in my party? He is in my party. Right, we also switched out Ulbrich for H'aanit, and we gave her the War Master class. Which I don't really know why I did that now that I think about it. I think it's because I actually wanted the multi-shot from the arrows. Because we have enough spears that I could offset some of not having that. Anyway. Right, we're all equipped pretty well. I gave him this because the elemental attack. Okay. Oh, I almost didn't have him on the right thing. Okay. Here, a tale, Cyrus Chapter 4. Still in pursuit of the Forbidden Tome, you journey to Duskbarrow and ever closer to the truth. ... The story so far. And so Cyrus's search for the ancient tome led him to Stoneguard, where Headmaster Yevon lay in wait. Using the forbidden blood magic gleaned from those pages, he aspired to powers unholy and profane. But Yvonne, more demon than man at the end, met his demise.
Preposterous! I am all-powerful! I am eternal! Immortal! They were all lies!
Such were his last words. But who lied to him, and what was their ultimate aim? Was Cyrus fully prepared to face the truth that awaited him? A foreboding shadow fell over him as he came to Duskbarrow.
Time to do some research.
And here we are. Somewhere in this town lies the headmaster's ultimate destination. Given the nature of his research, it is reasonable to assume that there is a secret laboratory of some sort. I will get to the bottom of this no matter what. That's the headmaster's assistant Lucia, was it? Now that I recall, she disappeared after that incident at the headmaster's house. What's her role in all this? I must not let her out of my sight. Travel banner. Whoops.
So,
our journey bringeth to Duskbarrow. Ah, yes. You are from this region, are you not? Aye. Though I have never visited the town, I've heard tell of it. It is famous for the many ruins that surround it. Many of them dating from the Age of Legends. The Age of Legends, you say? 1,000 years in the past. For their age, the structures are remarkably well preserved. Master once told me a story of the ruins. He said that whenever danger or disaster is visited upon Duskbarrow, the people taken shelter in the ruins. Whatever era they were inbuilt strong using techniques no longer known. Lost architectural techniques, you say? My interest is piqued. I'm inclined to investigate. After, of course, we have settled this affair of Headmaster Yvonne. Thou art confident of our success. I always am. But she was just here! Wherever could she have gone? What's this?
What have we here?
A button of sorts? Should I press it? Nah. Perhaps I should pull it instead? Nah. In that case, I should twist it.
Aha!
Well, this is a turn. I should proceed with caution. Twist it. Bop it.
Oh.
Color me impressed, Professor. To what are you referring? Finding the hidden door back there. It was no great thing. I enjoy coming up with little theories and then testing them. It's a useful talent. If you ever have the mind to switch trades, you can make a go of thievery. Me, a bandit? Now that would be amusing. But if I do fall onto hard times in the scholarly world, I shall apply to become your apprentice. Hate to disappoint you, but I'm not the teaching type. I learned by watching and doing. Observation and practice, in other words. That is the essence of all learning. If you ever took it upon yourself to become a scholar, I would certainly vouch for you. I appreciate the offer, but I think I'm allergic to academia. Though if you'd caught me when I was still young, things might have been different.
Excuse me.
Would you help me satisfy my curiosity, Alfred? Specifically, I am wondering why you make medicines. Huh? I mean, I've never met an apothecary quite so dedicated to his trade. You could use your talents to win riches or honor or renown. Yet, you forget to ask for fees, make no claim on those you help. Frankly, I find it unfathomable. Aw, shucks. I just like helping folk who are in trouble. Right. Question answered. Let's go, Professor. Professor? I asked what I thought was a difficult question. Yet he gives me a plain answer without hesitation. A clever man, this Alfred. It's kind of a weird dialogue to have so late in the game. Part of me wonders if that dialogue would have come up sooner had I had these two together more often. Anyway, let's go ahead and save it again. Ruins of Eld. Should probably take off evasive maneuvers for a little bit to get him leveled up a bit. There's a purple box.
You won't feel a thing. Here goes nothing.
Wind Guardian, Leviosa. Should have done an all attack. What am I doing? I don't have analyze yet. I forgot, right?
Your spirit is mine.
You missed both.
Letting the hunt beginning. The dog bite hard.
So if he's a wind guy, he should be weak to lightning.
Tonight,
Here goes nothing.
What next? I honor thee, my queen.
Kind of surprising to hit that hard with a staff. Billy Ray leveled up. One battle. Got books in the ruins. Makes me wonder how old they aren't.
Let's see what you got.
my turn.
Delicious. Bring it on.
What is the logical course of action?
Letting the hunt begin. The dog bite a card.
Self-destruct! It's a bomb!
The hunt endeth.
He needs a little bit more to get another ability. Rune bow. Oh, this is actually worse. Oh, I forgot to give him a bow. I like how I made a big show of giving him a better spear, but forgot the bow. Hey, Meow Laser, how's it going? Welcome back.
Letting us begin.
All right. This calls for surgery. Whoa.
Letting my arrow fly and true. Raining arrows upon them.
I'll take that.
Out of my way.
Here we go. Ha! Try again.
Oh, he has enough. Dang, we got 300 JP just for that one fight. Okay. Skills, we'll have him learn Blizzard to round that out for now. Oh, he only needed 500, so now he'll only need 1,000. Which could just be as few as one fights. Wait, how did I even get in here?
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
Like that he asks literal monsters if they could settle things like gentlemen. I don't think that's on the table.
Bring it on.
What next?
An interesting dilemma. I'll be taking that.
All right.
It's definitely not on the table if he doesn't ask. Where is it? In the cupboard? Already stole.
Your spirit is mine.
Hey, he finally did damage.
What next? Yeah! Raining arrows upon them. out its fight with courage.
Cool. Wait, where did we get percipience? I don't even remember what that does. Prevents them from being surprised. Okay. Hey, Robbie. Nice to see you. How goes it? $20,000. So there was like a weird ghost up there. A bunch of the white.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
How goes your progress on super ghouls and ghosts?
Bring it on.
These are wind jerks, so instead...
My turn.
What next? The dog fight at hard.
An interesting dilemma. So much to learn.
Errors. Okay. Did not anticipate that.
Bring it on. This calls for
Letting the hunt begin. I honor thee, my quarry.
He's still leveling up after every battle. Vivifying stone. These walls seem quite old. But they still stand strong. And what are these curious patterns? Look how perfectly they're aligned. Whatever could they be for?
Aha!
Wait, that's it! Together, the markings illustrate something. Here they billow and swell. An ocean? A flood? It seems to be depicting something overflowing. And yet the depiction is abstract and surreal. Wait, I've seen markings like these somewhere. Of course! The ruins of High Hornburgian! The runes are being used to paint a picture. Might there not be a hidden message contained within? It is as if the runes are flowing forth from some kind of gate. Uh-oh. Though I hate to admit it, I fear deciphering this will take more time than I have. I should move on. It's the Gate of Finis, so we'll need the Dragon Stones. I was going to remark on this as we walked by it, so I guess it makes sense that they drew more attention to it. It kind of looks like a lizard with 5 fingers. Being like dissected or something. Ruins of Eld in Ring. Okay, I thought there was going to be like a hidden spot behind the wall.
You won't feel a thing.
Out of my way.
Sentinel. Alright, anyway.
Tonight risk connect.
Bring it on. This calls for surgery.
Letting the hunt begin. Anger and knowledge.
An interesting dilemma. Your life for mine. Try this.
All right. Time for a rest.
What next? Anger and knowledge. Thou didst fight with courage.
He didn't level up this time. Void Amulet? I don't think I've ever gotten anything that was good against darkness, have I? Maybe I did. A weak thing. Greatly reduces dark. I do like this dungeon track. Gotta get those payoff notes. I thought the bush was blocking my way. It kind of is. I'd have been salty if I could go around the bushes. Energizing pomegranate.
Standest thou against me? Then be hunted.
Here goes nothing.
Letting the hunt begin.
Oh, come on. You just had to hit one more.
Now, what next?
What next?
Your life for mine.
Bring it on.
I know those things are a little bit tankier than I thought.
Anger and knowledge.
Never mind.
The hunt endeth.
We here.
And here we have a library of sorts. Look at all these tomes. Did Headmaster Von procure them all? And Terrobang!
Couldn't be.
Volume 7 of Trial of the 12? But only the first 5 volumes are extant. Forbidden Gold? Covenant of the Sage? These books were all said to have been lost ages ago. And what's this? A personal dictionary for the translation of ancient tongues? Did the headmaster collect all this by himself?
No.
No, that would be impossible for even the most esteemed of scholars. No. Such a vast repository of knowledge must have been accumulated over decades, even centuries. From this trove to those odd wall paintings, this place is one enigma after the next. One thing is clear. If there is a mastermind behind all this, I can expect to find him here. He literally already forgot Lucia existed. Although this is kind of an interesting thought, like, if you suddenly were dropped into the library that had books of the knowledge you most wanted, like, it must be such a thrilling and arduous decision what to even read first. It's kind of fun. And yeah, seeing a library like this kind of reminds me of the library level in Wild Arms. Just pretty fun back in the day.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah, this game definitely
My turn.
hits on nostalgia levels of prior games that I've played.
Just
Clock it.
That was a heavy attack.
here goes nothing. Cool off.
Coming. If
It'll be
thou
ironic if
darest.
this dude's weak to arrows as well. Yep. Okay. The reason why I say it's ironic is because I was going out of my way to
Out of my way.
use the eye stuff. Actually, it kind of worked out because that did prevent his one next hit that is about to arrive.
Here we go.
Coming, if thou darest. Anger and knowledge.
I'll be taking that.
Inspiriting plum basket. Oh,
All right.
body armor? Nothing changed. Wonder if this guy is weak to swords.
Out of my way.
Just
Clock it.
Isn't it ironic, don't you think?
What next?
What's that, to have your glasses fall off when you finally do get that opportunity, and for them to break, and so you can't read any of those books? This is a Twilight Zone reference.
Rain and arrows up on them.
An interesting dilemma. A tempest of ice shall reign. What is the logical course of action? Your spirit is mine.
all right.
That was a good episode, it was. It's definitely one of the more iconic ones.
Ha, try again.
Night Shield. Anybody ever remember that movie, A Knight's Tale? With Heath Ledger and Bobby B. Yeah, I didn't realize that Bobby B was one of the two Patsy type guys that accompanied him. Though to be fair, it's not like I really knew who Bobby B was. Oh yeah, and of course, Ultron. Not Ultron, Vision.
Letting the hunt begin.
Damn, that movie It's kind of stacked, for real. I really like that movie. I haven't watched it in a very long time, though. Can guess what the Dark Revenant is weak to? Forgot to heal myself after that last battle.
Now, what next? Nothing will quiet the storm.
Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. This calls for
Letting the hunt begin. Fearing the spear.
You kind of remember that one? You'd have to rewatch it, though. Oh, I definitely think it's probably... probably think it's worth a rewatch. Considering how infrequently I've watched it. Guess I kind of lucked out in that regard, because my sister had a crush on Heath Ledger. So I got to see A Knight's Tale.
your spirit is mine.
And 10 Things I Hate About You actually is pretty decent. Turns out that movie is based off of a Shakespeare play, Much Ado About Nothing. And nothing, back in the day, apparently was a euphemism for sex. So it's Much Ado About Sex, essentially. Which, at least, certainly hits the
Your life for mine.
theme of the movie.
Out of my way.
Bring it on.
Wait, why did I not use actual magic with him?
Come in, if thou darest. Raining arrows up on them.
He's gonna get me.
Out of my way. And that's that.
Incredible healing powers now. Maybe my joke way earlier in his playthrough about Lucia being the feminine derivative of Lucifer. Maybe that's bang on. Time to find out.
Professor, you truly are every bit as brilliant as old Yvonne said.
I did not come here for false flattery.
Oh, but I was being quite sincere. A shame the purport eludes your grasp.
To think you were the one pulling the strings. The headmaster was merely your puppet all along.
Very astute. Yes, it was I who maneuvered to install him in that position in the first place.
Hey, Randucky, how's it going, bro? Thanks for the raid. Nice to see you again. Sorry, I'll be quiet because we're doing some story stuff right now, but have you played Octopath before?
To my dismay, he had a willful streak that got in the way.
One might say the fault lies in the person who chose him for the task.
One might say that, yes. Now, let us proceed to the matter at hand. Your search for the original copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell has miraculously led you to me. In finding me, you have displayed some measure of knowledge and acumen. More than anything, you have shown a pure and unrelenting passion for seeking out the truth. I hold that particular quality in the highest regard. What say you, Cyrus? Will you join me in my research?
Ridiculous. If that is a jape, it is a poor one.
A jape? What a curious reaction from a scholar like yourself. The wall paintings in this place, did they not pique your interest? Did your heart not race when you saw the countless lost tomes in my study?
To say I was not intrigued would be a lie.
Of course you were. Yes, any true scholar would feel the same. I must unravel these mysteries. I must have the answers. Your mind, no, your very soul burns with an all-consuming desire to know. That is what separates you from the rest, Cyrus. We are true seekers of knowledge, you and I. Together, we can unlock all the secrets behind our world.
I'll pass.
How can you refuse? You covet the mysteries of the universe. You yearn to know the truth. Surely you can stand shoulder to shoulder with me.
That's it exactly.
What? What is it?
Surely you. I take issue with your solicitation. You don't care who you use in your schemes. What of Headmaster Yvonne?
Don't be ridiculous. He was devoid of the passion you have. He was nothing but a pawn to the end, incapable of envisioning an ultimate goal.
On what grounds do you base that assumption? Can a man not grow his mind? If you found him wanting, why did you not teach him?
Teach him?
Take him on as your pupil. Impart your vast knowledge, that he might one day be your peer.
Preposterous. You speak the impossible. Mediocrity is as mediocrity does. Knowledgeable as he was, his own actions prevented him from ever approaching genius. A genius such as yourself must understand this.
There's where you and I differ. I haven't given up on mediocrity. As scholars, we learn from the past to better understand the present and pass our knowledge on to the future. What do you mean to do with the knowledge you amass? The secrets you unravel? Carry them to your grave, content they are inscrutable to all who do not possess your genius? You would call them simpletons, fools, feeble minds. I say it is you who lacks the ability to teach and inspire. A true scholar does not look down on others for what they do or do not know. Those who know impart knowledge to those who do not. If something is wrong, those who know the answer correct it. The process repeats, bringing us closer and closer to enlightenment. I teach my students with the expectation that one day they will surpass me. I long for the day when I will have the chance to learn from them.
Enough! I've given you plenty of opportunities to make a move. Any move. But clearly we are going nowhere fast. If you would rather die without discovering the truth, so be it. I have already synthesized a perfect blood crystal, precisely as detailed in the original tome. With it, I will cast off the shackles of humanity. A human can only learn so much in its short lifetime. I will gain the time, the power, to understand everything. You may be a fool, but to show no hard feelings, you can participate in an empirical analysis of my newfound power.
I'll watch you transform
If
and...
believing in the future makes one a fool, then call me a proud fool. But know this. When I emerge victorious, I will unravel the secrets of that tome and arrive at my own answer. Let this be a lesson to you. The future of mankind is bright. I cannot fail.
All right, Edward, anybody? 30. That is a hell of a sweep.
Here goes nothing.
Anyway, all right, welcome back in, everybody. Looks like we have Sandy and Chadwick who joined us again, as well as the Raiders from Randucky, if you all are still around. Give me a second here. I want to scroll back up. It's too far down. FSU Deadpool, welcome on in. All right, so... Robbie apparently beating Super Ghouls and Ghosts on Pro difficulty without dying is somehow harder than beating Pantheon 5 without bindings on in Hollow Knights. Oh yeah, no, I do not doubt that for a second. Super Ghouls and Ghosts is no joke by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, I have all of the characters, Randuck, and we are on our very last characters, Chapter 4, right now, actually. This is the last one I've got to do. I started with Honnet, and I kept her in the party. How about you? Who did you start with? And you said you were starting on... Oh, nice. And you said you were starting, or 80% of the way through of Octopath 2. Are you looking into Octopath 0 that came out like last week as well? Or how's that going for you? Cyrus's pro freedom of information? Hell yeah. That had the same energy as Kingdom Hearts' Light without horns? Oh, I didn't know about that. Kingdom Hearts spoiler? Spoiler for a 20-year-old game. Shake my head, my head. Randuck, you're not sure about 0 yet? You should probably finish 2 first. Fair enough. Alright, so now we need to figure out what the heck this lady's weak to. I really need to get him some moves that have
Need some of this?
multi-hits to them.
My turn. I see through the defenses.
Now, what next? How about this?
What next? Come, Windhill, fight for this.
Oh no, it's purely a physical jerk?
Out of my way.
Well, that'll make things a bit easier.
You're too kind.
I'm probably gonna lose at this rate. For real? What the hell? Okay. That hurt. They gave her a lot of shield? Yeah. Push comes to shove. I just play better, is all.
All right. Try this.
What is the logical course of action? How about this?
It's got me on the back foot. Sucks not having a cleric in the party for the full AoE heal. Especially when she's doing stuff like that.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
Bring it on. Need some of this?
Oh, I know what I should have done. I should have given myself physical defense up with the merchant thingy, the hired help. It'll be fine.
How about this?
Wallop? I hate these status effects in this game. They're so damn annoying.
Sorcery.
Because you never know where they're going to come
Here we
out.
go. Let's get down to work. Doter, lend us your aid.
You forgot about Hanet's speech quirk? It's really bad. I double checked the Japanese and they don't speak like that at all, pretty much. So go figure, right?
Now the truth.
That was worthless. Pulverize? What?
Here we go.
I was going to concoct, but now it's not even worth using that. She doesn't have the double heal, the overflow heal on anymore.
Try this.
Okay, so now we're cooking.
How about this?
I'm ready. Are you? I see.
Doter's charity is so good. It's kind of broken. It's a little bit disgusting. For real. Especially when I've got so many free elixirs, essentially.
This.
All right. All righty. The best that one can buy.
Come in, if thou darest. Come.
So this will be at least a 6 hit. And it's weak to everything except for the staff, so that'll be 5 guaranteed. So that's worth it.
Windhild, fight for this.
All right.
Guess I will stall with him.
Try this.
I appreciate it. Really.
The damage is pretty good too, yes sir. I've given her pretty much the strongest items I can for situations like
Letting the hunt
this.
beginning.
The question is whether or not Guardian Lion Dog would be better or Rain of Arrows. Probably the Lion Dog if it can connect that much.
The dog bites us hard.
Oh, okay, that did a little bit better than I was expecting.
I still have
That's enough.
so much to learn.
Here.
And now his
Let my
defense is
arrow fly
gone.
and true.
I think I might just try to stall the turn again, so that way we could break it early next time. And then capitalize off that if I can.
Using this.
Here goes nothing.
But just to be on the safe side, let's concoct... Which one is it? No. This one. So that way if it tries to give us status ailments, we'll be safe.
Try this.
Nerd.
Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Let's get down to work. Doter, lend us your aid. Let's do this.
I would have been distraught had we missed.
How about this?
What next? Holding back nothing. Coming.
I think numerically this probably has to hit harder.
Windhill, fight for this.
Bring it on. Let's get down to work. The best.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I need to steal.
That's what I'm
Whoopsies.
talking about.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But I'd do it again. She dead? Big damage? Hell yeah. Ed?
No,
Word?
there's so much more I must learn.
If nothing else, your devotion to the pursuit of knowledge is admirable. Unfortunately for you, you will not live to pass that on.
Aho!
From the far reaches of hell, at last I have the original. How many lives have been lost to the dark knowledge in these pages? But no, knowledge itself cannot be good or evil, only the hearts of those who would use it. I will use all the resources at my disposal to decipher this work for myself. And I will find the answer I seek, an answer of my very own. Alright, Rand Ducky, thanks for joining us, and you have a good night as well. Thank you. Perhaps one of the tomes in the study I passed through might aid me in deciphering these glyphs. Yes, I should return. Is that a why not? That emote? The Moogle one's also good. Let me check these out. The Pokemon. Essentially a why not, yes.
I've done my research on you.
Makes me wonder if that wasn't the penultimate battle for this fight, or this chapter.
Tonight, finish.
Maybe it's a bit of a structural change-up. It's about time we had something like that.
Here goes nothing.
Letting the hunt beginning. Anger and knowledge.
Here we go. Ha! Try again.
At long last, I can begin to study the tomes in earnest. High Hornbergian Dictionary. Times what? Earnest, learned, proper. Instead of earnest, scared, stupid. Let's see now. Trial of the 12, Volume 7. An ancient tome detailing how the 12 gods sealed away an unholy power beyond the edge of the world. Trial of the 12, Volume 7. Most intriguing. This kind of reminds me of Ogre Battle. And it's been so long since I've played the original Ogre Battle, I don't really remember what was going on with their essential gates to hell and whatnot, but it's kind of what the Gate of Finis reminds me of. Forbidden gold. In the pages of this tome, the secrets banished by the gods are likened to a golden fruit, and an ominously worded warning is issued to any who would covet this forbidden power. I wonder if the analogy of the golden fruit is to imply that, although it's something that many people would covet, it ceases to really function as a fruit, because if you try to bite into it, you couldn't, and therefore your hunger could never really be sated. Oh, blood is for fire? Thought it'd be... Oh no. Oh no. Damn, we were almost wiped out by scrubs.
A tempest of ice shall rage.
Bring it on. That's what I'm here for.
My friends. I am so
All right. That's what I'm here for.
Out of my
Damn,
way.
stop hitting me that hard. Why are you hitting me?
Letting the hunt beginning.
You overclocked his CPU.
Using this. Letting the hunt beginning. The dog like a car.
Oh no, it's so strong to physical attacks.
I still have so much to learn.
Actually starting to run out of
Using
healing
this.
items. Not really, but
My turn. Delicious. Closet. Out of my way. Delicious. Closet.
Anger and not the tiger.
I was hoping that would have ended it. No!
Delicious. Closet.
Finally, holy crap.
Don't start things you can't.
I forgot to revive the dude. I wanted him in the party so he could actually level up. Forgot. At least we got back our olive that we used. Is that Lucia's body? Oh no. From the far reaches of hell, a tome wherein is writ in horrifying detail a forbidden right to bring back the unholy power sealed away beyond the edge of this world. Yes. Yes, I see. I do believe I have the knowledge I need to decipher the mural. Hey, Ishi, welcome back. Do I mind some info about this game now that I'm on the last chapter? Give me a little bit of time.
Standest thou against me? Then be hunted.
There's more I don't know.
Out of my way. I appreciate it. Really.
That's not good.
All right.
Letting the hunt beginning.
Interesting dilemma.
Here we go.
An interesting dilemma.
Letting the hunt beginning. Anger and not.
All right. All right.
And that's a tanky boy.
I appreciate it. Really.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
What is the logical course of action? Thus ends your lesson.
Chadwick, now that you've cleaned out a jar of jelly, you want to use it for something else? Does anyone feel that way about a good jar? It depends. I think some of the best jars to keep are like pasta sauce jars. They're pretty good size. I feel like jelly is on the smaller end unless you get some of the crazy amounts from the cost company. Organic jellies, jams, whatever they are. But one thing you can use them for is like collecting grease from cooking. So that way you don't pour hot grease directly into
This is the
a
beginning.
garbage can. And certainly not the sink. Don't pour grease down the sink, because then when it gets cold it'll congeal and then you could block your stuff up. So anyway, hey Global, how's it going? Chadwick, you avoid pasta sauce jars because you can't clean the lids. Jelly, lid doesn't absorb any of it. I mean, if you're just using it for grease anyway, you don't need the most clean lids to begin with. Yeah, you can also use jars for water, unironically, either to drink out of or to have plants drink out of.
I appreciate it, really.
You can mix your own inks in them. What are you, a squid? Yeah. Meow, Hewlett Packard would like to know your location.
Letting my arrow fly and true. A torrent of arrows.
Should probably have enough to learn something else by this point, I think. I don't know.
Tonight, risk.
All right. Oh, time for a rest.
Now, what next?
Your life for mine.
What next?
She said,
I
yeah.
honor thee, my quarry.
Ishimura, your parent used sauce jars a lot for painting? Chadwick says bacon fat or cooking oil, but you already have a dedicated oil jar. You could always have a backup one. Chadwick pickle jars are useless for you because you can't clean them.
Want a tangle, huh?
For what it's worth, like a bunch of homesteaders are trying to bring back jarring as a means of preservation for things in general, so that might be worth looking into.
Bring it on.
I was about to get angry if this dude was gonna act immediately in front of me.
Letting my arrow fly and true. The hunt endeth.
And Chadwick, if you want to try to clean the lids off of a sauce jar, you could just pour warm, soapy water in it for a little bit, shake it around, and then just leave it upside down in your sink for a day, and then just repeat it. Which might sound like an annoying amount of work, but really, you're kind of getting a permanent glass jar out of it, so if you need other ideas for things that you could put into your jars, you could always take a bug catcher's net and go and catch a fairy. But careful, because if you like fall down, or if you get knocked out and fall down, the jar could break and the fairy could get out.
This is the beginning.
So just try not to get knocked out if you want to keep them around.
All right.
Hey, with that horn, you started playing Nine Souls. The parries are pretty nice. I saw another game that I almost called a Souls-like, S-O-L-S-like. That kind of looked a lot like Nine Souls in terms of the combat mechanics. I don't remember what it is at this point anymore. It's like a couple weeks ago. He has nothing.
A tempest comes.
His axe definitely hits harder.
Out of my way.
Jiminy.
Delicious. Clock.
Can olive jars work? The smaller ones that stores sell with olives in them? I guess I don't really get jarred olives now that I think about it. Yeah, because I can't do green olives, and when I get black olives, I tend to go for like the really small cans that are all pre-sliced already. Kind of get a lot of olives in a full-on can of olives. But I really do love black olives.
Your spirit is mine.
Letting the hunt begin.
Ishi, you tried Nine Souls, but you didn't get around to finishing it. It's a pretty interesting game. I feel like the combat is a little bit too much at times. But it had a lot more depth to its story than I was expecting for sure.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thurion's about to level up. Probably in 2 battles. Could turn your jar into a candle. That's not a bad idea, perhaps. Although, I don't know. You might have some issues with heat getting trapped in because of the shape of the lid. I would look into that before going all in on it. Global, you tried some Peak tonight solo? Now you want to play with a group super badly? Wait, Peak didn't really get a lot of nominations, did it? No, it did get nominated for things, I remember now. It just, had competition. This is a really good year for games, for real. Let's see now. Death, doom, destruction, 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 death, doom, destruction. The mural's meaning. Most intriguing.
Now then.
Now, let me think through all I've learned. What did the 12 gods do? They sealed power away. What forbidden power did the gods seal away? Wait, did we learn this? I didn't pay enough attention. I'm going to say the power of destruction. No, that's not it.
No.
The power of nothingness?
No.
Power of life and death.
But of course!
Indeed, the power of life and death. That is the forbidden secret held within these pages. Trial of the 12 tells the tale of how the 12 gods sealed this power away. The author of Forbidden Gold compares this power to a golden fruit. Like a golden fruit, it calls out to and tempts the human heart. Into the pages of From the Far Reaches of Hell was this power sealed. These glyphs. Yes, I believe I can decipher them now. Death, doom, destruction. We learned that already. I think we can safely assume this is a warning of sorts. A warning of the calamity that awaits us if the gate is opened and the forbidden unleashed. Were the mural and tome left behind as an invitation or a warning?
But of course!
Yes, the mural was left behind as a warning. I am sure of it.
Indeed.
Knowledge in and of itself is not inherently good or evil. It can, however, serve either purpose. All depends on the heart of he who would use it. I choose to believe that whoever created this mural so many years ago believed the same. For the sake of our future, be not tempted by the darkness.
Indeed.
Yes, these dark secrets must never be allowed to be put into practice. The mere existence of this tome is a threat. Shall I destroy it and banish its baleful knowledge for all eternity?
Not exactly.
No. Destroying the tome would not banish the darkness that exists in the heart of man. And as long as that darkness exists, people will find a way to work evil. I must preserve this knowledge that we might put it to use for good, not evil.
Thusly.
And yet, there is much more I must learn. I must decipher in full the contents of this tome and the murals in this place, and pass them on to those who would follow us. That one day, should we be threatened by forces from the far reaches of hell,
Yes.
our descendants will possess the knowledge needed to protect this realm. First, I must return to Atlasdam and file a report on what I have seen here. Then I must begin my analysis of the material I have collected. Yes, I'll be burning the midnight oil night after night, no doubt, and I can scarcely wait. So they're gonna come and burn down the Library of Alexandria?
Professor! Professor!
Over here, Therese.
That stack of books seems to get bigger every time I see you.
And I'll need twice again as many to have any hope of translating this ancient tome.
Twice as many?
Fascinating, is it not? A traditional fairy tale from a certain region mentioned a gate of sorts. And I could not help but notice a parallel to the mural I found.
I see. Hence, these books on local folklore?
Just so. Considering your subject from all possible angles is a fundamental principle of scholarly research. But I forget myself. Might I surmise that you've come here to inform me that it's time for class?
Yes. You're late, Professor.
Pray forgive me, Your Highness. Very well then, my students. Let us begin. To quote the words of one Susanna Grotoff, author of Knowledge is Light. The pursuit of knowledge is a journey with no destination. As long as people live, there is always something to learn. And so we learn, we record, we speak. Points connect, thus forming our history, our agency, our identity. This world we live in is not for or of any one individual, and neither is knowledge. And so I write and speak of all that I learned, to plant seeds of knowledge that will be harvested by those who follow me. To you who have found my writings, read well these words, that they may help you build a bridge to a brighter future.
For the future's sake. Oh man, that went away quickly. Cyrus, Finn. Okay, I guess that's that. The pursuit of knowledge is all that there is. Never ending. So, real talk, one of my favorite villains in any piece of media for a time was Orochimaru from Naruto. I felt like his motivations were just impeccable. And he was voted like the best villain in media by some poll a long time ago, up until kind of the end of a certain arc. Because he was a guy that was so terrified of death, he would do anything to try to get some scientific edge over it to become immortal and whatnot, which is pretty relatable. There's like some folk tales of like Chinese emperors trying similar type of things. Anyway, Lucia kind of having that same kind of motivation is cool to me, but it just kind of sucks how inconsequential her arc was. Like, it just felt like she was the big bad for being the big bad. I don't really think much would have changed if we had to fight Lucia in the manner, and then, what's his name? Yvonne here at the end. Like, she didn't really have any character to speak of other than generic scholar lady who suddenly wants to share the throne with us for some reason. But there was a kernel of truth that she touched on that I wanted to bring up again as well, in that I do think it's kind of ironic that some of the best scholars aren't necessarily the best teachers. And so while I could definitely commiserate with Cyrus's point of view that scholarship should be studied and produced for the masses, I was a little bit surprised that he didn't bring that up a little bit harder than he did. It was there, but yeah, anyway. Sure, Ishi, go ahead and give me the info now. Unless, let's see if there's anything here. Urinal. Okay, that's it. So I guess I would need to do all of the side stories as well? Question mark? I need to Google how to start the post-game? Oh no. Because the game doesn't tell us how. Specific side story chain to unlock the post-game. I kind of had a feeling that would be it. That's a little bit baffling. I don't even know if I want to be honest. Man, that's really lame. Like, I was expecting like a cutscene with the characters by the campfire or something, like talking, and then all the info coming together to lead into something pertaining to the Gate of Finis. Which, maybe the side quests do that, but this feels anticlimactic as hell. Sure, we did get a bit of a game over screen, an end credits scene when we finished Hanet's quest. But, that's something. You'd sum it up, but it'd be a spoiler. I appreciate that, bro. Without horns, Orochimaru was great. You really don't know why they kind of just dropped him as a villain for like the first couple arcs of Shippuden. Yeah. Yeah, Shippuden really kind of jumped the shark for me in a lot of ways. My favorite part of Naruto is definitely the tuning exam, and that fight between Orochimaru and Sarutobi was just peak, because these two dudes are supposed to be at like the pinnacle of the ninjutsu world, and when they're fighting each other, you can still kind of tell what they're doing, you know, but it's like very high level stuff, and they're pulling things out that you wouldn't expect, and you're like, oh man, this is kind of like what the essence of shinobi is in this world, and it was really cool. And then it turns into DBZ with ninja later on. Oh no. Orochimaru was fine at the end. He got his immortality, so he could just do whatever he wanted now. It just kind of shaped up in an unsatisfying way, at least for me, with his story arc. We're getting the legendary LP karaoke stream when? It's a good question. Or you said then. No. It's way too late. The dog be sleeping. Shan't be waking. The canines. Anyway. Alright, I guess we'll have to go ahead and Google how to get the post-game of Octopath. Octopath Traveler 1 post-game. Alright, we have a Reddit thread. Have almost 100 hours on the game and completed all chapters. I know there's some bosses, but I don't know what to do. There's a number of dungeons that are simply level 45 and above, so at least the levels of the final chapters. Next, there's the 4 advanced job bosses. It just says do all side quests, all of them? Your connection to a blonde-haired man will lead you to Journey's End? Okay, so this... Alright, Reddit is actually not helpful for once. So I have to do things surrounding Kit. That's vague enough if I want to go for it. I mean, honestly, I don't know, guys. I am actually pretty tired of Octopath. Like, all the fights are super grindy despite me being a pretty high level for most of the party. I guess I could just keep out the people that I don't want in anymore and be fine. Isha, you skipped the post-game due to what you read? Yeah, I'm almost feeling like I'd rather just get the abridged version, to be honest. Wasn't worth it to you? Alright, so maybe I should call an audible and like look it up on stream. Because, yeah, the game has just kind of felt like a grind between the encounter rate and actually how long every battle has been. And then needing to do a bunch of side quests, which is super unclear, is kind of disappointing. At least before I fully throw in the towel, let's check it out. Damn it, it doesn't even list it by... city, Flatlands. Kit. How goes my journey, you ask? I'm afraid to say I feel as if I've gone as far as I can on my own. Alright, I'm going to go back to Noble Court and talk to him, although I don't think I've done anything to advance his quest. Do we know what all the Chapter 4s were hinting at? Opening up the Gate of Finis and maybe either defeating the final thing, like the Sealed God, or resealing the gate. Because maybe Kit's going to open it or something like that.
In truth,
Oh, maybe I need to guide him? Ain't no way. Let's try it. I'm going to be sick if I have to do that. Oops. Just for the moment, we'll take out Thurion. This quest is weird, you did it? Okay, so I can't do anything with him. Piggity Prim Priam. Do I want Ulbrich, or would I prefer Tressa or Ophelia? Just trying to think of how I would configure the party job-wise. No, you vote karaoke? Karaoke stream? Nah, I'd get copy struck. Correct path, power, but wrong person? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, we need to guide somebody else with him? So am I supposed to guide this dude? Nah, I wouldn't be that guy. You wouldn't say the writing is good? That's kind of been the theme of the game so far, which is kind of why I don't really care that much right now, to be honest. Oh, Galamoth was responding to Ishi, or vice versa. Ishi was responding to Galamoth. Alright, so it might be a little bit early to say like a final verdict for Octo, but I felt this way for a long time. I was going to give it a 5, but this kind of ending makes me a little bit more inclined to give it like a 4 out of 10. Which sounds like a terrible score, but just to kind of recap how I feel about games, for me, an average, fun, enjoyable game is a 5 out of 10. And for me, like a 5 out of 10 would be a guilty pleasure. So a game like Dynasty Warriors, like I can have a lot of fun playing it, but I could definitely recognize that it's not God's gift to gaming, if you know what I mean. So Octopath, I was feeling like it was a 5 for the longest time. Like, it was an okay game, and if you really like the visuals and the soundtrack, you could potentially bump it up to 6. But I was going to say, like, even the combat system is okay. It's just, like, the writing kind of sucks. The voice acting at places kind of sucks. The localization at times definitely is very frustrating, which is a really big minus for me. And then just the grinding was annoying, and I could have had evasive maneuvers on, but then I would have been under-leveled, and then it would have taken longer for some fights, and it would have been more difficult for some fights. So, like, this is, to me, like, one of the most generic JRPGs I've played, which isn't necessarily bad, but since I've already played a ton of JRPGs, it's like, why would I really want to play this one? And because of that, it doesn't really make me want to play Octopath 2 or check out 0. Because the story of this one was so bland, like I don't care about this world, to be honest. Like the Gate of Finis sounds kind of cool, but maybe if I have gone through the post game, it tie together. But honestly, after sinking in 81 hours, it's just not hitting for me. Hey Q, how's it going? Oh no, you just heard my rant about Octopath. I will say though, Q, that Ulbricht's story was surprisingly good. It was probably the high point of the entire game, to be honest. Any battle song gets tiring for you after 80 hours? At least there's a couple different battle themes there, Galamoth. Logos, this wasn't appealing to you at all? Well, nonetheless, I'm kind of glad that I went through it, because now I've seen what the hype was about. And like I said earlier on one of the streams, I think the people who played Ulbricht's path probably had a lot more fun than some of the other paths. Q, all you care about is the gameplay. I will admit that the combat system is pretty good. I did really like the job system. That was actually kind of a good point to the game. Because having so many choices and a lot of freedom is really nice, to the point that it's annoying, and for me that's actually a really good thing. It's just like all of the battles took a long time, or I don't know, like the stakes were a little bit weird. Chrono Trigger did it better decades ago. I would agree with that, like for real. Yeah, the music in this was fantastic for sure. Galmoth, the world's generic. Nothing about it makes it stand out from any other fantasy game. Maybe the Gate of Finis stuff does, but I just haven't checked that out yet. But also, I don't remember if I finished that point. If it does take me over 80 hours to get to the Gate of Finis, and then the game doesn't direct me how to do it, it's just kind of annoying. Like, having to do every single side quest, it's just annoying. I know in some ways this is a little bit hypocritical, because I don't necessarily like the whole Ubisoftification of games, but these side quests, for the most part, are unimpactful, which is why I don't really feel like doing them. And there's a lot of them that I haven't done. Like, the dragon ones do sound cool enough, but I'm just kind of tired of the other points of the game to want to do them, at least right now. Q, the game is legendary to you. You couldn't finish Octo 2, sadly. You didn't care for the characters. That's funny, because I don't care for most of the characters in Octo 1. Let me look at my character list, and then I'll tell you which ones I like and whatnot. Okay. So, journal. Main story. Cyrus's quest was okay. It kind of reminded me of, I think it's called The Seventh Gate, that one movie where some dude's looking for a book and it leads to hell, essentially. Tressa's was a bright little ray of sunshine. It was a very simple story, but it was done earnestly, which I can respect. So, yeah, even though I guess I can't even really call it that generic. Like, even though it is kind of generic, it does have its own kind of slice of life charm to it, which it stays true to throughout it. But the downside about a story like Tressa's and Cyrus's and pretty much all of these characters is that none of them tie into each other at all. There's so many points in the games where the characters are left alone and then they're supposed to just randomly power up and fight enemies that had dumpstered them earlier in the story, which is always very frustrating to me. Without Horns, The Seventh Gate is a movie you'll never forget. Not sure if you'd say if it was good or not, though. That's kind of how I feel. I felt like it was interesting, but kind of bad. But it was interesting enough that it could, like, overcome its shortcomings, I think. I don't know how much that makes sense. The Gate of Phineas and Ferb. Ulbricht's story was really good. It did have some nice little twists and turns with Eldrick. So I actually really liked Ulbricht's story. It turned out to be a lot better than I was expecting. I thought his was going to be one of the most generics, but it was actually one of the best. Not even just for this game, but just in general, it was a pretty good arc, if short, but it's kind of how they all were. Primrose, she was edgy. She pretty much gave you everything that was on the cover there, I guess. No real complaints, but just not really for me, I guess. Wait, no, that's a lie. Big complaints. What was chapter 2 and 3? Like her getting stabbed? Oh, yeah. No, Primrose's story was garbage. I'm sorry. The ending is kind of fine, I guess, but this story almost made me quit the game, as well as Therion's. Alphen, he actually had a pretty interesting story. It's kind of touching to learn that the guy that he looked up to had died, and he wants to kind of follow into his footsteps. But Alphen is just such a plain character. I almost said generic again, but I've been saying that every 4 sentences now, so I don't really have a complaint about him. He just kind of doesn't really have an arc. He's just very flat, I guess, is kind of the biggest complaint. That's kind of it for like a lot of the characters, really. Darion is extremely flat. Hana, I liked her, but she's very flat, and then that makes me not really care too much. I did like her story. It was pretty decent, but that's all it was, really decent. Ophelia was kind of cool. She did have her ups and downs a little bit. Still a very flat character. And I kind of hated the stuff with her sister, and then her getting thrown in prison, and then beating the army that threw her in prison with no rationale behind it. So most of it, mostly an L, even though it was all right in some other parts. Yeah, and I guess that's that. So really, I only liked Tressa and Ulbrich. And then Hanit was just like, didn't really have any parts that were outright bad. Except for the damn localization. Oof. Q, this reminds you of Breath of Fire on the Super Nintendo. Don't know if I played it. I did not play Breath of Fire, but my mom did. My mom was renting it from Blockbuster back in the day. And it was funny because she and some other guy were like chain renting it back and forth. So we'd have to like go back to Blockbuster to turn it in, and then like we'd come back like a day later because of the return policy or something, and then the other guy had checked it out. It took her like a couple months to beat Breath of Fire because of that and whatnot. But I was a little bit too disinterested in RPGs at that time, I guess. All right, Robbie, you have a good night, and Stella, welcome back in. Q, would I recommend Expedition 33 you're thinking about? Absolutely. It's very story focused, which you might not be as big of a fan of, but the way that it tells its story, you'd probably be down with, to be honest. And more than that, it has a lot of really cool RPG action, and it's very interactive, and I really enjoyed it. So if you liked stuff like Octopath, Expedition 33 is like Mario RPG on steroids, essentially. But to be fair, Q, we do have a couple haters of Expedition 33 in the chat. It is not for everybody. It has become one of those games that is very overhyped, but it is still, I would consider, one of the best RPGs out there. Mario RPG is one of your favorites? Oh, if you like Super Mario RPG and its battle system, you'd probably be a pretty big fan of Expedition 33. It lives up to the hype. I mean, that's always subjective, but I was very fortunate that I got in on Expedition 33 pretty early on. Like a couple weeks after it came out, I just heard like a lot of good word of mouth. And then I was like, okay, I have a little bit of a time in my streaming schedule, so I checked it out because I just was only ever hearing very, very good things. So I would recommend it if you want to like look at a trailer or something. That'd be fine. I'd avoid reviews because there's some really big spoilery stuff. I would love to watch you play it though, for real. A lot of people have been trying to get you to play it. Absolutely. If you stream that, you're going to be hooked. So that's kind of the one thing though. Like, it's a pretty lengthy game, but it's worth the time. But yeah, I mean, I was right. Before you play Expedition 33, you gotta play Expeditions 1 through 32 first. Ishi, your complaint about Expedition 33 is that the music doesn't know when to shut up. Sometimes, but overall, the music for that one is really good as well. Without horns, you want to try out the combat before you commit to Expedition 33, but you haven't found a way to do that without buying it first? Yeah, I don't know if there's a demo for it. Probably not. I feel like... It would be pretty hard to make a demo for that game. Maybe if they gave you the demo and then it stopped once the gommage happened. That'd be so terrible. But after that point, I feel like people would probably be hooked, but they'd know very little about the combat. Have you ever played Lost Odyssey? I have not. That was one of the longest RPGs you've played. It was 4 discs. You love that one? Logos, Dragon Quest XI, Metaphor, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Xenoblade 3, tons of good JRPGs. Alright, so real talk. I did not enjoy Dragon Quest XI like I was hoping I would. I think part of it was of how heavily localized it was, but I didn't really like the characters. What's his name? Like the blue-haired guy that joins the party first, like he gave me huge suspicious vibes, but because it's Dragon Quest, nobody ever questions anything, and I didn't want him in my party. But anyway, he was... Yeah, I don't know how his story goes and whatnot. I got the little girl that used to be an older girl, but she was cool as a spellcaster. I kind of wish that they put her in Smash instead of Hero, because I thought it would have been a really cool archetype to have in a Smash. But she was cool. Her older sister, well, her older younger sister was cool. And then who did we get? Silvio, the like weird dude with purple. I didn't really like him, and then I kind of stopped after getting him. Q, Dragon Quest always felt super mid. Oh man, I don't know. Like, Dragon Quest kind of always delivers on what it promises the players, which is a very, very polished, yet straightforward / generic JRPG. And that if you liked what it had to offer, it was probably one of the best things around to do it. But it certainly isn't for everybody, and not all the games are quite as good as each other. For me, I really, really, really liked Dragon Quest V. That one was so good. Sylvando, thank you. But that one, you loved Lost Odyssey, all of the memory vignettes. Dragon Quest was like the original RPG. It was definitely up there, yeah. I think Dragon Quest did come out before Final Fantasy. How am I feeling about Pokemon nowadays? Manu is trying to get me to rant. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and hydrate real quick, and then I'll answer that. All right, so to preface what I'm going to say, I didn't play the Pokemon Arceus game. It sounded interesting, it sounded different, but I didn't really like how it looked for the Switch. It seems like it would have been a better game on a different system, if that makes sense, and that the team is probably really limited by their hardware. But setting that aside, because that's probably a high point in Pokemon in the last 15 years, the mainline games, like, I've just completely fallen off of them. They could have done so much more to make them not the most mid things ever, but it's just, they feel like they have no reason to do it, so they don't. Like, they could have outsourced their Pokemon title franchise to other game companies, and they could have made much better games. Like, I think some of the highlights of the Pokemon games are when you're doing other stuff than just like the Pokemon battling. So things like Pokemon Snap is cool, and if you want to like follow what they were going on with the anime, like you could have a Pokemon game dedicated to like Pokemon breeding, or if not like literal breeding, but like raising Pokemon, like caring for them and grooming them. That could be an interesting way to do it. I just kind of always wanted Pokemon to kind of function like the way Mega Man X does, where once you beat a stage or an area, maybe it'll affect another area nearby, and then once you beat that one, it could have like follow-on effects, and then it would affect like the entire world. So that way you could collect different Pokemon by going back to regions that you'd already been through, but they'd been changed because of your actions elsewhere. But that's kind of way beyond a lot of the what do you call it? The goals of Pokemon, I guess. I don't know. Looks like Tress is talking for me. She's such a happy-go-lucky girl. Galamoth, you missed when seemingly everyone liked Pokemon. Good times. Well, there's only so many times you could get the same game repackaged in another title twice. A dedicated Pokemon dress-up game. Like, they did have some of that stuff in the 3DS titles. They had, like, the Pokemon contests. Those are kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but, like, they could expand on that stuff. Or, like, the Safari Zones. Like, the Safari Zone is always kind of goated. Pokemon is like Call of Duty. Call of Duty wishes it was like Pokemon. Pokemon's got it down pat. Call of Duty releases one title. Pokemon releases 2 every time. Actually 3, because they come up with a third one, XYZ. Yeah, I guess for me, like, I really liked the lore of the earlier Pokemon when it was a little bit more grounded, when you had Mew and Mewtwo and Team Rocket and Giovanni the mob. And then when they started throwing in like the Pokemon God Arceus, I was like, oh man, this kind of makes Mew seem a lot less special and like the whole Mewtwo story feel less significant to me. I don't know. Gens 1 and 2 were good. Anyway, so Q and everybody else in chat, what have you guys been playing lately? I know Q, you've been on 7 days still. And is there anything you guys are looking forward to? Did you watch the Game Awards? There wasn't a ton that really spoke to me, but I think that new Saros game is looking cool. I still need to play Returnal someday. I was hoping it'd go on like PS Plus and be free sometime. Logos Night Rain's been your goat. So much fun with the new map, characters, and bosses. I think I might not play Night Rain again, perhaps until it gets like its final DLC, and then maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. Like, I had fun with it. I just wish it did more. Without Horns, aside from Nine Souls, you're also doing Inscription. I've heard of that. Isn't that like a puzzle-based game? Ishi, you're looking forward to Divinity? We like Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. Baldur's Gate 3 was really, really good. I don't really like the CRPG movement and combat, though. Inscription is peak. I should play it. If it's a puzzle game, I'm probably not going to be interested. Oh, it's a semi-horror card game? I hate all of those. Stella, you played the Game Jam game that became Inscription? So did they come out with like a demo for it? Maybe that's why I remember the name Inscription, but not really what it was like. Yeah, pretty much whenever I see cards get introduced in a video game, I'm like, I'm out. Q, you hate card games too? It's not that I hate card games, it's that I've already played Magic the Gathering, and if I'm going to play a card game, it may as well be that one because of how much I've already invested into it. I say that, although I did really like Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII. So if I played like a card game, it would have to be something that's not obviously like a Magic the Gathering clone. But just deck builders in general just kind of turned me off. Am I burned out on the Souls games? Not necessarily. I played a really, really cool game earlier this year that I think you'd really enjoy. It's called Kazan, the first Berserker Kazan. And that's pretty cool. It was more anime inspired. The story kind of sucked, but the combat was really good. And I'm still looking forward to other Souls-likes in the future as well. But for me, I guess I tend to play the Souls games more for their story and just like getting through it the one time rather than playing it over and over. Ishi, have I played Final Fantasy IV? Yes, that is my least favorite Final Fantasy. That is the one I hate the most. The one that you enjoyed a lot. The turning point for me with Final Fantasy IV was I was not enjoying it, and then there's a character who's on an airship over a literal ocean of fire that explodes, and you're like, oh man, that character, we're not going to see him again. He got off-screened. And then he comes back. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Galamoth, Elden Ring ruined games for you? You haven't really been invested in any one game in ages? I honestly think that's a fair take, to be honest. It really does set the bar high. Logos is crazy. We get to live when Elden Ring was released. The best game of all time. There's still some more time. You never know. Maybe Duskbloods will be even better. I think to answer Q's question about being burned out on Souls games, I think I am starting to get burned out on the tried and true classic Souls formula in terms of the combat being more in the style of Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. Like, I've done that enough, and now that Shadow of the Erdtree's come out and we've gotten bosses on super EDM steroids while we're on X, tripping, moving in slow motion, then I dislike it. But if you have a Souls-like title that has more advanced combat options and bigger skill trees like Sekiro or Kazan, or even Armored Core, I am more on board with them. Q, you're not a big Final Fantasy fan either? You don't like them? The mechanics are never the same. The last one you played was Lightning Returns. I heard Lightning Returns is good, but all of the other 13 games were not so good. Ishi, you play 14 a lot as your relax game? And Souls games bore you now? Logo Sekiro 2 would be Kino? I don't know, like, if there was a Sekiro 2, I would like more weapon types or something. Like, Sekiro was extremely good for a first playthrough, but the problem with Sekiro is that it forces the player to get good, and if you don't really care for that style, or if you want to try to do something different, it doesn't really give you a lot of the freedom to do that. Like, the Spirit Emblem system is just hot garbage. So trash. Like, hey, you want to use tools, kid? Go farm. This is Bloodborne now. This is Demon Souls now. We've learned nothing. Anyway. Galamoth, you like 13 too? Q, you got burned out for Shadow of the Erdtree. You ran out of sweat. You should try it someday. They got some real tough challenges for you. Some of them might even be harder than Black Blade Kindred. Chadwick, we need to return to character action games like what? The in-between genre of games? Are you talking about like the Devil May Cry's and stuff? Proper arcade button mashers. Oh, so like Dad of War. I think we kind of have them, but now like the genre has switched to be more FPS-y. So I'm assuming like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, God of War, those might fit into that, or Tomb Raider. Like, those games still do exist. They're just kind of like all syndicated and franchised. I don't know. You can't do it now, Q? You're getting old. Uh-huh. I'll remember that. Next time you want to try to fight me in Smash. You guys think Darksiders 4 is going to be like a Souls-like? Oh yeah, Neo 3 is coming out next year. That game looks pretty cool. So does Onimusha. I've never played any of the Onimushas though, so curious to see what that's going to be like. Which reminds me, I still need to play through Neo's 1 and 2. It's rough out here. Let's try to get some different music. I wonder if I could go to the title screen and if there's a soundtrack option. That'd be dope. Nah. That is one thing that I do miss in some games, having the soundtrack available in different places. Have I played Rogue Galaxy? I have not, actually. We need more roguelite solitaire games. Well, without horns, good news. I know that Chris Wilson's developing one. He was one of the co-creators of Path of Exile, and he is huge into Magic the Gathering. He has a crazy, ridiculous collection. And there's another roguelite card type game that's coming out. There's a lot of deck builder type games that are coming out. They tend to be more indie and stuff. Q, you love this game music? I don't like it? No, no, no. On the contrary, I actually really enjoyed this music. This is definitely a highlight of the game. But this town theme it's alright, but it's not my favorite. So I was kind of hoping for going someplace else and getting something I might like a little bit more. Did like the final dungeon theme over here. Yeah, I think some of my favorite tracks in the game tended to be in specific scenarios. I think I liked the Sunshade theme. Nah, I'm thinking of the other one. Marceline? Or Wellspring? Oh yeah, this one's nice. Yeah, the music in this game is really, really good. Oh yeah, Q, one of the reasons why I wanted to play Octopath is because the composer for this game composed one of the best remixes of one of the songs in Final Fantasy VII's newest game. So it's like, okay, I gotta check his other work out. Q, you got hooked when you started to get the different subclasses and the hidden bosses? Yeah, I liked getting the subclasses, but some of them feel kind of weak. Like the Rune Lord? This was the hardest one to kill, and that's like the weakest abilities. Probably works better with other classes, like the Hunter. I do kind of wish that the characters' sprites also switched to show their class on the overworld. Ishi, one RPG style you don't like are the Diablo and Path of Exile types. They felt too spammy for you. Interesting. Chadwick, you'd take a new Gauntlet? I loved Gauntlet as a kid, which is kind of a super spammy action RPG in its own way. So Ishi, have you ever looked into No Rest for the Wicked? Apparently it's closer to a Souls-like in terms of how the combat works as an action RPG in the vein of Diablo or Path of Exile. You want me to remind you to listen to that Final Fantasy mix? You didn't know that? Okay, cool, yeah. It's one track specifically that I can send you sometime. Yeah, the No Rest for the Wicked folks also did Ori. Ori playthrough tease? I actually looked at the Ori gameplay and I was like, you know what? This really doesn't look for me. I just don't like the art for Ori. Send it? Okay, hold on. I'll do that right now, actually. Alright, so now that I'm kind of officially done with Octopath, my plan for the stream in the upcoming days is to play through Fallout New Vegas. So I'll need to do a little bit of research into any mods to fix things or things like that. And then I'm not sure what I want to play after Fallout. I would need to look at my backlog. I kind of want to play through Star Ocean again, but I don't want to do that on stream, I don't think, because it's going to be really, really long. And I know Fallout New Vegas could be a really, really long thing as well. Wait, I forgot what I was doing. Okay. I'm going to send Q the track. All right, sir, I have sent you a Discord message with the track. Sally, you've been replaying New Vegas? Is it my fault for mentioning it so much? Or is it the new Fallout show? Has anybody been watching the new season for Fallout? I have not looked into it yet because I want to start playing through New Vegas and then binge the second season when that's all out. It's Genova's theme. So it's got Genova's theme, Aerith's theme, Sephiroth's theme in it at times, and like the main leitmotif of Final Fantasy VII. It's super good. Without horns, not yet watching it, but you want to. Logos, you're avoiding it on purpose. Stella, you just replay it from time to time? Okay. You should be sure to use a copyright-free radio mod. You two might not be happy with the songs. Yo, that's a good shout. Thanks for that. I'm going to try to make a note of that. Perhaps remember it. Although, I guess I tend to turn the radio off because it distracts me. I guess, at least for Fallout 3, the radio that I had on was like the, I can't remember what it's called, like the Minuteman one? Like the normal one? I guess I might have had some copyright stuff. But I think I just turned it off when it started playing music randomly. I guess, okay, so I would always turn off the music because I just felt like, for me, all paths always lead into the Stealth Archer playthrough. So having a music boombox blasting from my arm at full volume didn't really jive with that fantasy in my mind, so I always turned it off, even though none of the characters that were ever just like, what the hell is making all that noise? Yeah, the Minuteman 1 and 3. The new Vegas soundtrack is great. That's funny because other than like, you know, Set the World on Fire theme, I can't even really think of a Fallout track. You wouldn't have thought about the radio getting me copyrighted? Same here. Yeah. It's almost like how I really appreciated that for Baldur's Gate 3, they have like a streamer mod essentially, where it's like, hey, we'll turn off all of the nude scenes because you're streaming, bro. Yeah, nowadays some games let you turn copyrighted songs off. It's kind of one thing that I've become a little bit surprised by in this day and age in terms of like social media integrations into games, that there hasn't been more of it. Like only a couple games I've seen do it. Like Cult of the Lamb was pretty cool because we could have our characters, or sorry, our people in chat could have like their usernames get imported into characters in Cult of the Lamb and whatnot. So you could be playing and then it'd be like Galamoth has to get sacrificed because he's unhappy and his unhappiness is infecting everybody else when we're talking about Expedition 33. So I feel like that's probably going to be one of the next steps in gaming when that kind of thing becomes integrated a bit more seamlessly. All right, Logos, if you're going to head out, take care, brother. Peace. Oh yeah, so let me pull up my Steam list and figure out what other games I should be playing. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job getting through my backlog, honestly. Oh, it's a winter sale, so a lot of things are on sale. I hate spending money. Looks like Terra Memoria is $7 right now. Man, that sucks. Like, I want to play more RPGs. They just take a long time. And then it kind of sucks if you don't know if you're going to like it and want to drop it. Like I kind of felt like with Octo at some points. Then it feels like you've already been locked in. Anyway, let's check this out. Oh yeah, I did get the Messenger. But I don't really feel like the need to play that. There was this game that I was wondering if it'd be cool to play on stream called, or like, maybe not on stream, but just with the community, called Necess. But I don't know if that'd actually be a good stream game or not. If we'd get a bunch of randos that ruin the time. I kind of want to replay Time Spinner. I'm hoping we're gonna get more news about Time Spinner 2. Oh yeah, there's SaGa Frontier 2 that I wanted to play on stream. Partially just because I feel like the way that they describe anima is really useful for describing some aspects of Shintoism, believe it or not. Yeah, I think I'm catching up pretty well. There's not like a ton of things that are really standing out to me where I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play this for the stream. Alright, Q, you take care, bro. Thanks for dropping by. More co-op would be fun. Peak with Watcher stream? Maybe. I don't know. So, like, I don't know how much you guys would enjoy that. Because I feel like when I was playing a game like Night Rain and when I watch others play games like Night Rain, it tends to get a little bit fatiguing. Hearing other people interact with themselves rather than like the streamer interact with stream. So I tend to not enjoy streams when there's like multiple people talking to each other and not like interacting with the chat and stuff. And it was really hard for me to keep tabs on the chat while playing Night Rain as well, which might also partially play into why like I don't really feel like playing it, but I don't know. Global said Night Rain was fun. That's because you joined, you Drangus. No. Night Rain was fun. I'm not going to deny that. I could go back to watching lore videos. I don't know, though. I don't really feel like there have been enough developments for me to like really want to dive back into the lore. I guess there might have been some more stuff with the DLC in Night Rain that I should look into, but I don't think it really connects that much. I should probably spend a decent chunk more time like re-examining things with the lore of Elden Ring. Then there's always stuff with Dark Souls that there's some video ideas that I've had for a long time that just I haven't taken the time or effort to do it because it takes time and effort to do. Some of which feels like I would want to download Dark Souls 3 and like get a mod for it to get cameras and stuff, and that's just kind of always annoying. Night Rain requires constant attention, co-op or not. Yeah, that's one of the bigger issues with it, I think. Like, as soon as you start up a round, you have to be schmoovin' for like the full 20 minutes or 40 minutes or however long it can take. Same with all the platformers. At least with some of the platformers, you can kind of have your own points to pause and interact with the chat and whatnot. So Celeste was really nice. Like, obviously I can't really focus on chat while I'm in the midst of the platformers, but I'm also kind of lucky in some regards that the chat doesn't pop off so often that I can't catch up. Zoli Night Rain crossover co-op episode win? Probably never. Maybe I could play Returnal on stream closer to when Saros comes out. I don't know. I am potentially thinking of branching out and doing some more philosophical topics for the channel. But that's always a bit of a big step to make in a different direction. Not that it's really gonna matter, because I've kind of killed a lot of my channel's visibility over the years, to be honest. But I don't know, I like nerdy things, and a channel is just kind of focusing more on my interests than any one specific thing. So this is the same thing. Alright, let's go ahead and pull up the YouTube and see... no, I don't think I will. I was thinking about like looking up the Gate of Finis stuff. But I really just don't know how much I need to look at, and I'd probably want to skip around. That might not be the best experience for you guys either. I also feel pretty awkward just like taking something that somebody else has put on to their channel like that. Okay, it's a little bit different if it's a lore video and I'm actually like commenting on it live and adding something transformative to it, so this feels a little bit off.
Greetings.
Hey, Tales of a Faraway Land. What's this? The logs of a great adventurer, you say? Let me see. My. Yes, it is very detailed. Look at this, would you? Those jutting peaks, and the natural wonders he describes in the native peoples. I can practically see them from these vibrant descriptions. But I would rather see them in reality. I would like to lay my own eyes upon such wondrous sights. I want to breathe deep of the air in this land he describes. I want to taste its foods and experience it with all 5 of my senses. There are still things in this world I have not seen. Ah, my heart is racing at the thought, as it has not done so for the past few years. You must let me have this book. I do thank you for bringing it to me. Ho, ho, ho! I suddenly feel 20 years younger. It's time to embark on a great journey into an unknown land. Ha 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 ha! Got the alluring ribbon, which I wonder if it's actually a ribbon. Increases the chances of encountering enemies. Increases! If that wasn't necessary enough. Also, Ulfer, welcome back in. Good news and bad news is, the good news is we've completed all the chapters 4. The bad news is it led to nothing. And the worst news is I just need to do a bunch of side quests to figure out what the hell the post-game's about. And I kind of don't want to do it. I'm kind of over Octopath Traveler 1, unfortunately. So, Zoink Scoob. I've just been waffling about the last half hour talking to chat. And there's only so much waffling a man can do.
Greetings.
So anyway, I think we'll go ahead and call it here. I'll look into the Fallout New Vegas stuff. I can't guarantee that I'll play that immediately tomorrow because it could require a bit more attention than I have. So if not by tomorrow, maybe by Christmas Eve or Christmas Day itself, we'll begin that playthrough. And regardless, I'll probably still stream something tomorrow. What that something is, I'll need to figure it out. Whether it's like Smash Brothers or lore reactions or just video reactions in general. Waffles sound good right now? Syrup. So, okay, folks. Thanks for joining me. Sorry for the kind of weird anticlimactic ending, but that's on them, not me. So anyway, yeah, this will conclude the playthrough of Last Protagonist Plays Octopath Traveler. So until next time, take care, stay safe. Last Protagonist out.